Welcome to yesphx. I'm Daniel Valenzuela. I'm here with my friend and my co-host, Jonathan Cottrell.
Yes.
And we are here with the Economic Development Director for the City of Phoenix, Christine Mackay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here with us. And we're in downtown Phoenix. In 2012, there were about 60 tech companies in downtown Phoenix. Today, nearly 300 and growing. Phoenix today helps lead the nation at tech job growth. It's all about attracting, retaining, and developing talent. I have to tell you, a few years ago, the City of Phoenix attracted our own talent when we attracted Chris Mackay to come and take over as our Economic Development Director, and you've been busy.
We have been swamped, which is a great thing.
Right.
And it's absolutely true, Daniel. Over the last 5 years, downtown Phoenix has really experienced significant changes, especially within the technology and entrepreneurial community. Explain what are some of the things that you've done to personally see and oversee some of that growth that we've experienced here in downtown Phoenix.
Well, you know, so much of it has been following the council's direction of creating a place where that talented workforce wants to live. So the companies are going to follow the workforce and creating a place where they have high-density residential, ease of connection to each other. They can kind of spontaneously connect to one another. And in great proximity to our universities was a lot of foresight by this city for many years to create this great place. And now we're really leveraging that opportunity to draw that talented workforce into downtown, which in turn is drawing those companies to follow them.
Now, you just mentioned something. Today's workforce can live and work anywhere. And so it is about placemaking. It is about developing this connected community where people want to work, live, and have a good time. And as you mentioned, as you taught me, money and companies will follow that talent any day of the week. And we're starting to see that here.
They absolutely will follow that talent, and the talent can decide wherever it wants to live. And in today's technology, they don't even have to decide where they want to live and work. They can live anywhere and work remotely. We see that here in downtown. I know it sounds crazy, but we've got dozens of people who live here in downtown Phoenix and commute into San Francisco every day. So they've chosen this as the place that they want their home to be, and it's just time until we draw the right companies to get them to work in this environment as well. So the money and the companies will always follow the talent, and creating that place that's sustainable, where the talent not only comes because they want to be here temporarily, but them giving them every reason to want to connect with the community and grow, not only with existing companies, but Councilman, you've been a leader on creating the incubator roles and the entrepreneurial roles here in downtown, is creating those next new companies that are going to be those revolutionizing companies for Phoenix.
You're absolutely right. And one of the things that we've really seen, as you just mentioned, are the incubators, the co-working spaces, third spaces, making this a place not only to work, but really to live. What are some of the things that you're seeing personally within the downtown area that make it the most exciting, that get you the most excited about what's happening within Phoenix?
You know, originally it was kind of our large-scale companies that were here, and they did a great job, had great employees who were here and still do. But then it was the follow-on of bringing the incubators, of bringing those small entrepreneurial companies. I think what I found most fascinating is the way that new tech companies have really entered the market in Phoenix. It's almost like they've dipped their toe into the market first. So let's use Double Dutch as an example. They came in with just a few people, really tested the market, made sure this was someplace they could thrive, that we weren't just selling them on what it was, that it was really authentic. And they've grown. We've seen what's happened. They've brought on their own engineering talent. They've scaled up, are really turning this into a full-scale opportunity. And we're seeing that with all of our small-scale companies. They're starting small and growing here, which has really surprised me at the rate of which the level they've grown.
Now, Chris, going from about 60 tech companies in 2012 to about 300 today, and that number continues to grow, there's a lot of diversified talent and jobs out there, a lot of diversified companies out there, which is really great for our economy. Tell us a little bit about what we see when we look out into downtown Phoenix. What type of jobs or skill sets?
And that is one of the most exciting things that you just talked about, is the diversification of these companies. They aren't just in advanced business services, which was what we saw in downtown for so long. And these days what we're seeing is a much more broader range of companies, whether they're in app creation, software creation, web creation, in wearables, in cybersecurity. We're seeing them across the board in true diversification. We're seeing great biosciences startup companies here in this market. We're seeing large-scale biosciences companies move into this market to be near those early-stage companies. So it's a true wide range of diversification. And I think that diversification and that tech push is one of the leading reasons why from 15 to 16, we saw a 7.9% increase in our wages in Phoenix. So that's the largest in the country in large-scale cities of salary increases. And I think we're going to continue to see that growth here in Phoenix as we even further diversify, whether it's in Industry 4.0, whether it's in wearables, in autonomous vehicles, in new apps, in personalized medicine and medical devices. I think downtown is going to keep diversifying in its employment base and growing. We're already the largest employment base in Metro Phoenix at 168,000 jobs here in downtown, and I think over the coming years we'll far past 200,000.
What's most exciting about hearing all of that is the fact that we have the talent needed to attract those businesses. In fact, we have the largest and most innovative university in the entire country represented in downtown with ASU. We also have the U of A, NAU nearby, the fastest growing university in the country, and GCU. And those organizations like Galvanize that offer this type of tech talent in an unconventional way. So at the end of the day, this makes for brighter days here in Phoenix, right?
Absolutely.
I totally agree. And not only do we have the talent here, but the city's doing quite a bit to help those companies not just make an impact locally or nationally, but even on a global scale. Tell us a little bit about what the city's doing to help those companies scale internationally.
Absolutely. So we have an export tech program, and we just started our 6th cohort this week with 12 companies, which is the largest export tech program in the state. It allows those companies really to go from being export curious to export serious, so they can understand how to do bills of lading, they can understand how to trade with other countries, they can understand how to ship their goods, get paid for their goods. It's something we understand very easily how to do, but it's very complicated if you're trying to wrestle it for the first time. As an example, one of our first companies we took through the program is now trading with 38 different countries. They've gone from having 20 employees when we started working with them to over 240 today and growing. So it really shows this program pays off and this program works. And if you're a City of Phoenix company, we'll actually sponsor you and pay for it out of my department.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for everything you've been doing, for the amazing strides that you've made. And for those that are watching, that are curious, you can follow yesphx to see everything that's happening within the tech and entrepreneur community. Use the hashtag, visit yesphx.com to learn more. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you, Chris.